Good afternoon, everybody. This is PreMarket Prep at the close. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, and Mitch Hotch lurking in the background. I need some new lighting. I'm looking a little bit dark on the screen.
Is he lurking or is he hiding under his desk?
Maybe a little bit of both. It's been one of those days, wouldn't you say? I'll bring the charts up here, Joel. How we doing?
Okay. What's there to say? We're traded down 112 handles. We got a few pops during the day, but nothing really material. You're low at 37.23 and a quarter, folks. When they get 20 points below my lowest level on the sheet, then I got some homework to do tonight. So the low right now is 37.23 and a quarter. Trying to bounce. Who knows what's going to happen into the close? Crude, let's call it flat at 52.60. No one wants to hold gold or anything else for that matter, except for those other stocks. Down 12.60 at 18.42.20. Silver in the red by 37. Call it 38 cents at 25.15. Bitcoin does the old dip under 30K trick once again. We're back above 30,000 there. 30,130. That's down $920.
So it looks to me, just eyeballing it, that like 90% of the S&P 500, give or take, is red for the day. Pockets of green, but mostly red. And Joel, I did what you would do. And I went to the daily year-to-date charts of the S&P 500, the futures, and I was just curious, like, what is the low for the year? How close are we exactly? Well, we're not that close. So the low for the year in the S&P 500 futures is 36.52.50.
Can I share? Can I share a different screen here?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the screen that I look at most of the time. I look at it too much. Let me go to my yard stream, and where's it at here? There it is.
Just
stop sharing.
Yep, and then share
screen.
Let's see.
And then so I'll go to this screen, and okay, so this is what I look at 99.9% of the time. Okay.
All right.
Here is the futures. Here's your spider, your crude, your gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Okay. These top 11 stocks here make up about 30% of the index. Okay. Apple down 1.2%. Microsoft, we'll talk about Microsoft in a little bit, but that's absolutely getting killed.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazon down 3%, commensurate with the S&P, $100. Google down 5%. Facebook down 4%. Tesla, who knows what's going to happen after earnings, down 1.4%. Berkshire down 2. J&J 1.55. JP Morgan 3. Visa down 3.77. Okay, and then I got some other stocks, XEG, Penn. Look what my green is at the bottom. You see my green at the bottom?
Yeah, AMC. What does that say? Is that AMC, GameStop, and Bed Bath? Is that what that is?
BlackBerry.
BlackBerry? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And full disclosure, I have absolutely no positions in any of those stocks, and the small position I have in GameStop, I hope will be gone very soon. So that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's, and
my personal update for the day is I had to widen my trailing stop. This stuff's getting crazy. So I widened the trailing stop on my BlackBerry, just so I don't get triggered too quickly. But yeah, it's been one of those days. I was telling Mitch before we came on that, I'm not getting full on bearish. I'm always long-term bullish. Markets go up eventually.
Yeah, they always go up.
Yeah, eventually, right? But it does feel like just the sentiment, the tone has changed in the last couple of days. We've been talking on our show for weeks now how boring the broader market has been compared to these pockets of mania and euphoria. Well, it kind of spread today a little bit. We noted this morning how just the simple nature of GameStop going up can affect other stocks like PayPal, for example, as people are forced to sell to cover, and it just feels like there's been a shift in that if you look at what's up, like everything that's up today, it's not just up, it's up big, like big, like fossil group, and and Express, and we talked about Cost and AMC. Talked about GameStop, of course, and Bed Bath and Build-A-Bear workshops with 50% today. Like, what? It just feels to me like we're getting closer to some kind of a prolonged period of sidewaysness or pullback or something of that nature. Again, I'm not full on bearish, and I'm always long term bullish, but it feels like to me at least that we're getting closer. We've had a great 10 months, right, give or take. Feels like we're getting
10
close.
months? Are you a baby? This has been 10 months. We've
Well,
had a great 10 months. Well, I
I'm,
guess it's
yeah.
okay. I'm
Yeah.
just like when I look at the
What
monthly
did you
chart.
forget about March? How bad that was?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that's right. Okay. I mean, I did. I did.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
sorry, Spencer. I'm sorry I called you baby.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. It's
But when
okay.
you talk,
Tensions are
when
high.
okay, no, why? Everyone, I gotta see a couple people here. They're having their best day ever.
Yeah.
So
Great. Great.
yeah, I mean, there's people that this is probably their last day in the market because they're trading
Look,
GameStop and they're trading.
my point is the easier it gets, the later it get in the game it gets. Right. It is getting so easy right now. So easy.
This is
Close
why
your
I
eyes.
yelled at you. This is why I called you a baby because you said the last 10 months. So
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
right. That's the March low.
I'm
Okay.
yeah. We've all seen this chart. We all know. Okay. Yes. Since the financial crisis, since like 2010, pretty much. Right. I mean, yeah.
Should I draw a scary trend line in here?
No.
Let's take something. Oh, I don't even know if I could get to move my water before I spill it. Um, boom.
Look, all I'm saying is
No, I want to draw a scary trend line for you.
the later in the game it gets. It's getting
You
stupidly
see
easy right now.
that low kind of. I don't have nothing to connect that low to. I have nothing to connect that March low to. Mitch, can you hop on here and help me out or not?
No, you can't draw lines on your screen.
Dennis
Um,
can.
no, that was on Zoom.
Oh, okay. Well, let me work on this.
Look, that's all. That's all I'm saying. All right, is the easier it gets, the later in the game it gets. It is getting so easy. You close your eyes, throw a dart at the board, and if you find a stock below $10, just buy it and call it a day. That's my point.
This is not investment advice. This is
No,
not
that's
investment advice.
yes, not investment advice. Definitely not. Never.
Let me get rid. That's
Um,
the worst trend line in the history of Wall Street. I'm sorry about that, folks.
okay.
But let's. Do you want to talk about? Do we really get to talk about Mr. Softy at all, or
We
do we
didn't
get
get to
to
talk
talk?
about hardly anything today. Today is the biggest earnings day of the season. You've got Apple, Tesla, and Facebook after the close today. So
You know, I was talking with a buddy. I do on Tuesdays. I go on the Corlin Economic Report at noon.
yeah,
They put it up later, and he said, you know, what are you looking for in this earnings season? And I just said, well, I kind of want to see what they do with the stocks that beat, right?
hmm
If they sell the pop, right? And that would just kind of give me a sentiment. Have you looked at the chart of Microsoft today?
no, I've been distracted.
I mean, the market's not helping it. So maybe this is a bad example,
Let's see.
but look at Microsoft today. That thing traded 247.70 in the after hours right here. After hours high, 247.70, not close to being reached in the pre-market or regular sessions. What did they do with that good report? Now, is that going to translate into Apple? Is that going to translate, into Tesla? And that was you couldn't get a better report out of Microsoft than you got, and it's down on, well, it's flat. It's scratch on the day. It's scratch. So it
hmm
might end up positive on the day.
Yeah.
But get rid of this trend line because this is no good anymore. But yeah, and I'm just thinking to myself, boy, oh boy, if I could have employed that advice on Microsoft. I mean, look what that did in the after 247.70. It never even traded over 241 in the regular session. So just wanted to talk about that. So what an AMD? Where's AMD? Is that getting lit up like a Christmas tree?
Again, I've been
Yeah, it's
distracted.
rebounding now. It's rebounding. It undercut this low, so it probably shook out a lot of people. Maybe keep an eye right here on this one if you're trading this longer term and you're looking at it. I mean, yeah, it cut out that low, but it's still in the area of these two lows. So if you're an AMD trader, long-term trader, you're worried about the trend, yesterday's low, and we're at what, a couple stakes above it right now. So there you go. Good number. Maybe if you're a shorter term trader, looking for a gap fill up to 93 and change. This traded 99.90 in the after hours session, folks. 99.90. So some good prices out there in the after hours.
Yeah, all right. Let's look at just to give a quick preview of some of these earnings reports. Let's start with Apple here. Recall the headline last time around for Apple. Their iPhone sales was weak, surprisingly weak. They missed on that, but they beat on everything else, right? So weak iPhone sales, strong Mac, iPad, wearables, and services. That was the headline last time around. I think the expectations right now are for iPhone numbers to be much improved. The expectations are way higher. It was, of course, the holiday quarter, so they're always going to be higher for that. But again, we're looking for iPhone sales growth. It's expected to rebound on top of what had been a strong quarter previously for the rest of the
Uh,
company. So all signs are pointing to a beat for Apple.
um, you know,
Doesn't matter.
first of all, I forgot to get our Apple guy on. Why'd you let me forget to get our Apple guy on? Do you want to email him?
Yeah, because fundamentals, schmundamentals, you know?
I like that. I like that. Let me see here. I don't want to. I, I'll just give you some very, very loose parameters to keep an eye on because this thing is going to be wild no matter what. Um, you made that all-time high on Monday, 145.09. Then you got a perfect double top at 144.30, 144.30. So I'd just keep an eye on 145. I mean, if it goes through there, then you have absolutely no business, being short it. Who knows how high it could go? If you want to employ the Microsoft theory, if you were just, peeling out the higher it went, you probably regretted it for most of the after hours session. But, that's what I would look at. On a dip, if it had a real hard dip, I think I would let it shake out for a couple days before just immediately trying to buy the dip. Unless you're just a real short term trader, you're going into this, hey, bad day in the market, they're going to hit it. Then I guess there's what, 3, 4 low. Wow, that's way down here. Maybe a gap fill. I mean, if you're 129, if they knock it down $13, but really, it's so hard to predict what these things are going to do
Yeah.
with the earnings
I
reports.
you know
But
I think this is why like people on TV are so angry about these
why be angry? What's there to
because
be angry
because
about?
they're angry that they have to like spend time talking, and I'm just guessing here. They're angry that they have to spend time talking about GameStop versus the stuff that is more important, right? Like the Fed meeting today and earnings from the largest companies in the world, right? Instead, they're talking about GameStop and Bed Bath and Beyond,
They should try
and
and do what I have to do
man,
every
Joel, you are
day.
so relaxed today.
I have to talk about this for an hour every
You are
morning.
so chill right now. You are so mellow.
What?
I was doing some research on these earnings reports. FYI, Apple has opened higher the morning after its report 8 of the last 12 quarters for everyone's
Yeah.
awareness.
You know what?
Moving,
You know what? Another thing too, and like I know no one cares about fundamentals,
yeah,
but I think that iPhone is great, and everyone's looking for the iPhone sales numbers.
yeah,
Um, I listen to Gene Munster, and I think there's money coming out for that company from a lot of different ways than the
yeah.
iPhone.
Services,
Because,
yeah,
pretty soon you're just going to have a little chip in your head, and that's going to be your phone. You're not going to have to carry around a big old phone. Like, well, I'm helping out Apple. I got a new iPhone for the quarter,
me too,
so I did my thing. But
me too.
I think it's the services, and I'm no genius in thinking that. Anthony Jr. agrees with me. So am I going to get all upset over a delivery number,
Yeah, yeah,
iPad,
I'm with you.
whatever. It's just a services company, and they
Yeah,
got it. They just got a huge. And what about the Apple Car?
I think we're a few years away from hearing anything about that.
Okay, all right.
Facebook has opened higher the morning after 9 of its last 12 earnings reports. FYI, that also remember Facebook reported last quarter a weaker than expected daily active users figure, and then they in the last report they said they expect the deceleration, the growth in daily active users to continue. So they lowered expectations this time around. So again, it's all about the DAU and
I
MAU
mean,
growth.
yeah. I mean, I think on it. But if you want to back out the statistics on that, like how many days did they report the day after the market, got massacred?
Of course, of course, of course,
So
of course, of
yeah,
course.
there's.
Yes, that
I mean,
obviously.
statistics are good, and there's
Yes,
probabilities and things like that. But you know, it probabilities. That's just what they are.
of course, of
Nothing's
course.
100%.
And then Tesla, it's all about the deliveries.
Okay, Joel Hat, you talked about AMC a couple weeks ago. We got it. We got it, Joel. You did it. You nailed it. Full disclosure, no position.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a
No,
lot
the
of
reason I
people.
said that is
We've been on
because,
this. We've been on this. A lot of people in our chat have been
well,
on this
Mitch,
too.
I'll give Mitch credit. I mean, he
Mm.
talked about it a couple weeks ago, looking at the volume. I'll take absolutely no credit for anything.
No, I mean, hey, if you've been buying and talking about these kinds of stocks, you've been right. You've been right. That's the
I'm just
bottom line.
lucky I didn't lose my ASS shorting these stocks. That's what I'm happy about.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I think what's interesting is just seeing some stuff and what Dennis said earlier today. Maybe are we getting to the point where like people are actually afraid whatever stock they short is going to be like the next target, and then that's why they're just
Of
afraid to
course,
short right now.
yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah. Did you see the ink he got in Reuters today?
I did.
Yeah, you
Our
guys, you
boy,
guys
our
want you to
boy
compliment
Dennis.
Triple D. Got some big ink in Reuters. My
He was
phone
the
was busy. They
lead.
wanted
He
to
was
talk
the
to me.
lead.
Yeah,
He was the first sentence in the article.
they
Whoever
wanted to talk to me, but my phone was busy. I don't have
the
call
the,
waiting
the
on my phone.
reporter had all this information and thought for my first sentence, I'm gonna go with Dennis. All right, 3:59, 1 or so minutes left. A little over a minute and a half left in today's session. Joel, how we looking?
Ah, nice bounce off the lows, 37.23 and a quarter, back above my lowest number that I have here. So got to do some homework tonight. Bad day for the market. We got some good earnings reports to come out tomorrow. Big day of earnings tomorrow, and
Yeah,
that's what we'll be talking about. Analyst ratings and whatever else goes on
yeah,
in this wild market. Someone said just
yeah.
what happened to LJND, and I know that that's a heavily shorted stock. Just take a look at that going into
About
the
what? Oh,
close.
like end.
Yep. Boom. I'm sure it popped, right? Nope, it dropped.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, but
someone's.
isn't that a higher price? That's a higher price though.
Yeah, but still, it had a high short float, so people were,
I
you
mean,
know,
it got to
the bigger
198. So
players in this, they don't care. If you're day trading, you got a lot of leverage and margin. You
yeah,
can buy that up. They were looking for it to close on its high, and then someone came in and said, "Sell me 75,687 shares." And that's what happens when you have a. Let's look at this on a shorter term chart. That's when these orders on the close can come in, and this has been tapering off for a while. So that wasn't unless someone got wind of a sell imbalance right here, because this is a 1 minute chart. So I don't know what the imbalance was on it. I'm just trying to take a
yeah.
guess of what happened
All
on
right.
that.
There's
Big
our
pop in the spoos though. Buy the dip, folks. They're big pop. We're now 30 handles off that low of 23 and a quarter.
All right, there's our disclaimer. You see our Twitter handles up. Follow us on Twitter, and
Could you
don't
read
ask.
that disclosure one more time?
Sure. Please remember that I'll read the whole text. All content is for informational purposes only, not to be used as investment advice. Opinions do not represent those of Benzinga. Hosts and guests may maintain positions in the securities discussed. 4 o'clock. We're
Who's our
done.
guest tomorrow?
Oh, good question. Let me bring up the calendar. Buck Andrews, and I've spoken with Buck earlier today, and we're gonna have he's gonna come prepared with some ideas. So we got some stuff for tomorrow. Should we hit? I didn't respond to Fari when he told me he overslept. Maybe we should take
We
a
got a
I don't know.
funny chat here.
I
We
don't know.
do, man.
I
You
really don't
guys
know.
are
All
good.
right, that's a wrap. Everyone have a good rest of your day. Congrats to all you holding calls and these things, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning.